Should you have a pre-approval before you start looking for properties? Hi, I'm Amol Heda with Keller Williams Bay Estates and author of Thriving Through Ownership. Congratulations on your decision to buy a home or an investment property, or even better still, to get to your next upgrade. Anything that you want to do, the most conventional advice is that you should get your pre-approval before you start looking for a home. And here are the reasons why people think that you should have your pre-approval. Number one, a pre-approval gives you the right idea, the right size on the size of a home that you should buy. The pre-approval will let you know how much home you can afford based on what the lender can approve you for, how much money that you have for down payment. And so the size of the house is critical. Otherwise, I have seen a lot of my clients, they just keep driving on a street and they suddenly end up in a house that is at $8 million or $400,000. And so when you just drive on the weekend and keep seeing those open house signs, you will end up in any home, maybe 400, maybe a $8 million home. Now, if you cannot afford that $8 million home, there is hardly any point just going and seeing it. And the reason why I say there is hardly any point is, it's like going to a restaurant and finding the best dish there. Or it's like just go and see a home. The costlier the home, the more the space is going to be, the more luxury elements they have introduced into that home, and the home will sure look the most beautiful place on the earth. Who does not want to live in the most beautiful place? And say you're pre-approved for just $2 million and you go and see the $8 million property, after that, you're not going to like the $2 million property. I call these types of homes as budget extenders. So even if you can't afford a $2.5 million property, you'll continuously try to push yourself to get into that $2.5 million. So right sizing the amount that you are going to be able to be pre-approved for your home is very critical, because then you will see the properties that match your need. So what do I do? Me as a real estate agent, when clients first come to meet me, I work very closely with them and I try to understand their profile, meaning what do they do, what do they like, what are they currently living in, how many kids they have, are their parents living with them, or any other family situation. So I first try to analyze their profile. I build that out. And with my experience as an agent for 2 decades now, I kind of come to know the right size of a home that they are going to need. I have had weird situations where one of my clients just wanted to buy a 2-bedroom. And we hunted a property for 3.5 years and then we end up buying a 2-bedroom for him. Sure enough, in 3 months' time, he calls me and says, Amol, can I get a 3-bedroom now? Guess what happens? You try to be conservative and that conservativeness just costs you in terms of your living quality. So pre-approval, you should, but work with an agent the way I do, who understands your profile, your needs, your lifestyle, and then recommends a solution. So my first meeting with my client, be it a first-time homeowner, be it an upgrade, or be it an investment property, I first try to understand the client and their needs, and based on their profile very well. Then I come and recommend a solution. And then we start looking at property. So that's the typical process. But the conventional advice is, first thing you should do is get your pre-approval. I completely understand. And here are the reasons why you should get your pre-approval. One, it enables you to understand your affordability. Two, the lender pulls your credit score. And if there are any issues with your credit, it is best to address those first. Number 3, there will not just be credit issues. I have had situations where the husband and wife both were working and all the credit cards, all the cars, all the phones were in the husband's name and the wife was just added onto everything. So the wife did not have any independent credit score. And so when we wanted to add her to the loan, she had no credit because she had not borrowed for anything, not for a car, not for a phone, not for a house, nothing before. And so the loan got stuck. And so I had to work with multiple lenders and find out as to who best will be able to close that. Fortunately for me, I know enough lenders in the valley that do loans based on clients' needs and profiles. And then I could work it out. But it's very important to upfront identify these issues. Now, what are the cons of getting your pre-approval when you're starting to buy a home? Every time that you pull credit to do a pre-approval, it costs you in points, maybe 8 to maybe 15 points if you take a pre-approval and don't use it. So suppose you take a pre-approval today and typically there is an expiry date for the pre-approval. Pre-approvals expire in 3 months. Now you start searching your home today and in 3 months time you don't find it. Then next month when you have to write an offer, you again have to pull your credit. So those 10 points and 10 points, you already lost 20 points of credit score. Now suppose 740 is the required credit score to give you a certain rate, and at that time you pulled your credit score was 750 and you pulled it 2 times, your credit score drops to 740 or 730. It was 750, the required score is 740 and you drop to 730. You will get dinged by a higher interest rate in that case. So that's one reason why you should be a little bit careful when you're getting your pre-approval. So typically try to time your pre-approval in such a way that once you pull the pre-approval, you are ready to almost buy a house. Do not fall into the other way, into the trap the other way, where because the pre-approval is valid for only 90 days, now you rush into buying the house. So that's your negative of getting a pre-approval. Now suppose you did 4 such pre-approvals and you went on 1 year, your credit score will drop from 750 to say 710 and your interest rate will get dinged. So absolutely consider getting a pre-approval before you start looking for homes. But be in a place where your pre-approval will empower you to buy at the right time. Do your best to get a pre-approval and jump into your home ownership right away. Be it your investment, be it your first home, be it your upgrade. You can always start with me if you want to understand how to fit a property to your profile, your needs, and your lifestyle. Good luck on finding your next one. Congratulations and see you on my next one. Bye. Thank you for watching.